You had video come out before we go to break where you wanted to encourage people to get tested, and some people are afraid it's going to hurt. So you had video of it that I want to show the audience of you actually getting tested. Here it is. There's you. You were kind of funny, and they were testing you. Now, a few questions about this process. First of all, is it true that when you were having the test administered, you inhaled and the doctor's finger went all the way up your nose and got stuck and had to be released with a tool? Is that true? Just to deal with the record.
She wanted to comment that I have a little button nose, and she was afraid that the swab would actually hurt because it extended my nasal cavity.
The proboscis
she was
issue.
Speaking about the delicacy of my...
This would be a lot funnier if Andrew Cuomo, governor at this time, didn't have all of those elderly people in those nursing homes and hiding the number of those elderly people that were dying in those nursing homes. It would be more funny if Governor Cuomo didn't put through policy that forbade those people, as they were moved into those nursing homes, pretty much the worst scenario ever for people with illness to be basically exposed to COVID and not even knowing which ones had it, because the governor that is laughing it up here with his brother forbade them from finding out and doing those tests. If I remember correctly, over 20% of the deaths took place in 1% of New York, and that was those nursing homes. I need to pull up the paper, but it was definitely at least 20%. I think it was more than 20%. I guess I'm making the point that as he was laughing it up here, as all of those Democrats was like, wow, he seems really presidential. The reality of it was that Cuomo was hiding the number of deaths that were occurring in New York, especially in those nursing homes. And that set off a national uproar, especially, however, an uproar in New York. Even though it seems that a lot of the issue that Cuomo is having now has to do with the sexual harassment allegations. I think, 5 or 6 women have come out at this point, all of them basically saying the exact same thing, with the governor moving and shifting his feet on his story from "I've never done anything wrong" to "I was just joking. I was just joking. I didn't realize." They didn't know that when I asked them about whether or not they have sex with other men, or if they have sex with older men, that I was just playing. I didn't know that. I didn't know that I was hurting people's feelings in that way. When I asked that woman at the party, "Can I kiss your lips? Can I kiss you on the lips?" I thought she knew I was joking. We find out now, to add insult to injury, that despite the fact that he wasn't necessarily allowing testing for the people who were going into the nursing homes to figure out who had COVID, he was allowing that access to his family members. In fact, his brother, right here, this guy, Chris Cuomo, his brother, they even look alike. He found out that he had COVID from a government test given special access by the governor, his brother, Andrew Cuomo. Wish those people in the nursing homes could have got that privilege of getting tested. But no, he saved that privilege for his family. This is the New York Times. Governor Andrew Cuomo's administration, and just so you know, I'm not lying to you, straightforward with you, never lied. Governor Andrew M. Cuomo, at least never on camera to you guys. Governor Andrew M. Cuomo's administration arranged special access to government-run coronavirus testing for members of his family and for other influential people as the pandemic descended on New York last year, according to 2 people with direct knowledge of the matter. The move to make testing of people closely tied to Mr. Cuomo a priority was carried out by high-ranking state officials. One of the people said it mostly happened in March 2020 as the seriousness of the virus was becoming clearer to the broader public and testing was not widely available. You're going to love this to make this even better. In fact, I'll tell you on the other side, because there's more to it that makes this that much more special. The way the testing was administered, how it was administered, the bringing in the cops to transport it, oh, it is phenomenal. This doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. A governor that basically was caught cutting the numbers of deaths in his state, a state that was already hit with monstrous numbers of deaths, you find out that the ones that are attributed to the nursing homes were basically 50%, if not higher, than what they actually were. On top of that, you have now the sexual harassment claims. And on top of the sexual harassment claims, now you have the look that the governor that wouldn't get elderly people tested or the people who were going into nursing homes tested, thereby creating basically a death trap for a large number of people in the state, that same governor, however, took steps to get his own family tested. Welcome to the soapbox. My name is Jamarl Thomas. This is the Progressive Soapbox. Guys, if you dig this content, please like, share, and subscribe. You can always support this content through PayPal or Patreon. This content is brought to you by you, and I appreciate you the opportunity for allowing me to do it. So among those that the governor was able to use his leverage in that office to get tested was his brother, Chris Cuomo, and his family, who were tested several times in the pandemic's early phase, this person said. The governor's mother, Matilda Cuomo, and at least one of the sisters were also able to take advantage of the state-administered tests. Two people said that the government's administration effectively let well-connected people cut the line to determine whether they had been infected with the deadly virus that was raging in New York, was reported earlier by Times of Albany, New York, and the Washington Post. The Washington Post broke the story, if I'm not mistaken. At least I thought they did, but they're saying both of these outlets did. So this does not look good, and that's to put it mildly. Now, the Cuomo administration didn't deny this. They didn't say that didn't happen. What they did was did a tactical answer. Right here. So Richard Azzoparnardi, spokesman for Cuomo, said, quote, "In the early days of the pandemic, when there was a heavy emphasis on contact tracing, we absolutely going above and beyond to get people tested," he said, adding that the effort included, in some instances, going to people's homes and door to door in places like New Rochelle to take samples of those who believe they have been exposed to COVID in order to identify cases. He added, "Among those we assisted were members of the general public, including legislators, reporters, state workers, and other families who feared they were contacted with the virus and had capability of spreading it." So wait, we're asking you something different though. We're asking you, did he do that? Did he get his brother? Did he get his mom? Did he get those family members and people that he knew, friends of Cuomo, as we like to call them, FOC, preferential treatment? Did he do that when all of those New Yorkers were dying, when all of those people in the nursing homes were dying? And even as he hid the number of people that were dying in the nursing homes because he was embarrassed and he was worried about a federal investigation by Trump, he was given preferential treatment. That's a big deal. When Cuomo was tested, according to one of the people with direct knowledge of the matter, his test came back positive. So this guy is basically saying, yeah, but we got a lot of people tested. No, buddy. Did he give preferential treatment to his family? That means that's a yes. You didn't say no to that. You would have said no. That answer is yes. Chris Cuomo found out by getting tested from his bro. Thanks for the test, bro. Thanks for the healthcare. Thanks for the healthcare. Fuck all those other people that can't get tested. So here's another point. It says, let's see. So CNN has the best response to this ever. But before I get to CNN's response, there's another thing. State troopers gave an escort. They had state troopers. So right here, it says some of the preferential tests, including those administered to Chris Cuomo and his family, were conducted by Dr. Eleanor Adams, an epidemiologist and top aide to the state commissioner, Dr. Howard Zucker. Two people with direct knowledge of it. If he's going to get healthcare, he's going to get the best. You're my bro. We're going to give you the best. Once collected, the samples were rushed to Wadsworth Lab with state police escorts. Think about that. Chris Cuomo is just a newsman. If anything happened to him, another person would be replaced by it. He doesn't work for the state. He's not affiliated with the state in any way. He's not an important person. I'm sure he's important to his mom, and he probably is important to his bro, which is why the bro potentially broke state law in getting his bro a test ahead of everyone else. Found out he was infected. Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. Appreciate that state healthcare. They were delivered by state police. Are you telling me that that guy who got up thinking, I'm going to be doing the job, protecting and fighting for the man. I'm going to be protecting and serving. That's what I'm going to be doing. And he gets the order to say, hey, a nasal sample from Chris Cuomo. You mean the newsman? Yes, the newsman is in your bag. I need you to give an escort to that sample, that nasal sample from Chris, to the labs. Sir, does this really require a police escort? It's the governor's bro. He says it's important. Okay. And he gets on his bike and he gives an escort to a nasal sample from one of the least important people on the planet, Chris Cuomo. That's astonishing. You use state resources to get your bro a COVID test. Great. Entirely great. And of course, the orders were rushed. There's also that. So CNN's response is phenomenal. I love their response. CNN spokesman said that the company did not typically comment on employees' medical decisions. However, the spokesman, Matt Dormick, added, it is not surprising that the earliest days of a once-in-a-century global pandemic, when Chris was showing symptoms and was concerned about possible spread, that he turned to anyone for advice and assistance as a human being would. Is that your response? Is that your response? Fair enough. If that is indeed your response, then what's his name? Then your brother should be willing to accept the consequences of taking that chance, of doing that for you. Meaning, I get it, it's human. It's kind of like the torture thing. If you full well believe that torture is necessary and you're one of the people that are at the bottom and you do it, then you're stuck with the responsibility of also taking the the federal response to that, which is you're going to prison for a very long time. But you did it for your country. You took the hit for your country. You believed it that much. Well, same thing, bro. If your brother is willing to take the hit for that, then your brother should be, willing to take the hit for that. So, right here, I'm trying to find, right here. The revelation of preferential tests could present an additional challenge to the already embattled administration. State law prohibits officials from using their position to obtain privileges or exemptions for themselves or others or attempt to do so. Not only did he attempt to do so, he did so. I wouldn't care so much if it wasn't for the people in those nursing homes. If I'm being entirely honest. I guess my feeling is there are a lot of people that died because of Andrew Cuomo. And on top of a lot of people dying from Andrew Cuomo, the hiding it, the chest thumping, the walking around like he nailed that shit in New York. Whereas he was really hiding the number of people that died as a result of his actions. Yeah, I am a little harder on my point of view here. But at the end of the day, that seems to be against state law. And so whatever my take on it, whatever I feel about it, there is still the fact that it seems to be against state law. And your bro was able to get the medical treatment, and you guys were able to totally ham it up after he got that sweet medical treatment that many people in New York in no way had access to. But it's your bro. So I get it. It's apparently still against state law. So there's that. Andrew Cuomo nailing it over and over again, nailing it. If it's not the crisis from the standpoint of the number of people that are dying in those nursing homes, if it's not the women that he apparently potentially fondled, or at the very least, let me kiss you on the lips. If it's not those, now you have a situation where you find out that he was given that sweet, sweet health care with a police escort to his bro and apparently his family. Great. Absolutely great. Like, share, and of course, subscribe. I'll see you guys in a few.